Epstein files have been released and there has been no accountability is because the Epstein operation is still in full flux. We are still funding the satanic, pedophilic, organized crime syndicate that is running the world around us. And everything is holistic, so if you don't understand that, then you wouldn't know why they're putting cameras everywhere or surveillance, so they can track and trace every movement. And if you have a child, they know when your child will be home, when you're taking them to the daycare, when you're taking them to the doctor, maybe just when they're walking to the park, and when you're not around them. And the thing is that people are paying attention to Flock right now, and Flock is going to be going out, but the surveillance will still exist because Axon is going to come in its place, and they will have a monopoly on all of the surveillance, whether it be in a police car with their ALPR or their 911 dispatch or the body-worn cameras that law enforcement uses. Anytime you take your child to a gymnasium or a dance class or a daycare, you are signing consent to have your child be videotaped, to have that live streamed to other countries and other places where you have no idea whose hands it's going in. We have a lot of children from CPS that were ripped apart from their families in different counties across the nation that were put into foster care, and many of those went into the Epstein files. And they continue to do that. They continue to rip families apart because it's a very lucrative business to traffic children, so it happens at the local level all the way up to the worldwide level. And the people that are collecting your DNA anytime that you go and, I don't know, when you guys were giving away, when you were getting a PCR test back in the COVID days, you were basically giving your DNA footprint to the government so that they could also have that. And when you have people in the Epstein files who like to engage in the partaking of adrenochrome, which is the torturing of a child to get adrenalized blood, and or doing young blood transfusions, which J.D. Vance was a part of with Ambrosia, which actually shut down, probably didn't. But they still do young blood transfusions. That's what people call like the blood of life. It keeps you looking young and all of these things. But when they have the DNA of your child in their blood type, they can specifically select your child to be a victim of theirs, and they also harvest organs. So if somebody needs an organ and your child has one and they have their DNA and it matches theirs, they'll come and take your child just to take that organ. A whole body parted out is about $3 million. So all of this is holistic. You guys need to pay attention that the world around us is crumbling because of these satanic pedophiles that are taking our money, the money that you work very hard for, and they are making the world around us like it is. It can be very beautiful, it can be thriving, but they just want you to survive so that you come and have to be dependent on the government. They are creating a socialist society because they say they want you guys to be self-sufficient, but in reality they want you to be dependent so that you have to come to them for anything and everything that you need, or while they will be blind in the process. And if we understand that we're at war in Iran, and we bombed 175 school girls just because we think that nobody else can have nuclear weapons, I'm not sure if you guys are aware that Trump just reopened the nuclear weapons testing in our nation, which hasn't happened since 1992, but will commence soon. And the radiation that comes off of that testing goes thousands of miles. It will cover our entire nation. And we already have nuclear sites with nuclear waste that cannot be disposed of, that is emitting immense amounts of radiation into our nation. Just go to San Onofre. And they're trying to figure out what to do with that nuclear waste, all while pretending that they're going to bring in more nuclear energy when they can't even get rid of the waste that they have. It's extremely toxic. But why is it okay for us to go into another nation and say that they cannot have any nuclear weapons, but our own people will be the test subjects, the experiment for the nuclear weapon testing that Trump is going to begin very shortly? I think you guys need to pay attention to what's going on. These people want us to be in mess with Israel. We basically are. Israel was created in 1948 by the Balfour Declaration. And so it is not even the Israel of the Bible like people want to profess. They want to use it as though these are God's people. These are the synagogue of Satan. And they masquerade as Jews. And they pretend that they're doing this. They use their own people as well and they say that you're anti-Semitic if you sit and talk about when they do a bridge and they suck a baby's penis and do a satanic ritual by sucking the blood from the circumcised penis, and a bunch of people just stand there and just watch it like it's normal. And they also, in the Talmud, which they're bringing the Noahide laws in, we gotta watch out for that. But in this book that they consider law, the Talmud, they say that if a child is 3 years old, a little girl is 3 years old, and one day she can consent to sex. And they say that they just put that in there just in case. It's in there because they condone pedophilia. Israel, the state of Israel, is a pedophile sanctuary. Anybody who is charged with that can go there and live freely, have no issues, and that's where all of these people that are getting caught with this thing wind up going over there so that they can be protected, so there is no accountability. It's time for us to stop funding this organized crime syndicate that is going after our children. It's going after every child. No child is safe in a world that is run by pedophiles that are collecting our data, putting in data centers, taking our water, our electricity, doing things to children that are unspeakable, that nobody would want to believe. That's why they think that they can release it, kind of like an in-your-face type of a thing. Nobody's really going to believe this because it's so outrageous, like eating babies. Like eating the intestines of babies who have breast milk in it that is curdled, and they will put it on a bagel as though it's cream cheese. They use different terms for babies or children, like pizza or jerky or different things, but it's time for us to turn away from this. It's very simple to stop all of the things that are going on around us. You just have to understand that this is a battle between good and evil. It's not left versus right. They want us to hate each other and to pay attention to the dichotomy of the two sides so that we don't focus on the ones that are doing this to us. Everybody has Stockholm syndrome, and it's time to wake up. And it's time to turn away from the system that is set up to fail, to enslave the people. The United States was never founded upon freedom. It was built like this, so you cannot fix what is broken. But that is why the Declaration of Independence is so important, because we are to abolish the forms of government that come against us and do these things, that don't care about our children, but will say that they do, and they're doing everything under the guise of something to better your life. And if that was so, would our lives look like this? No, they wouldn't. And they're going to continue to get worse. So wake up, you guys, and let's turn the tables and course correct, because God will cleanse our land if we turn away from the wickedness. It happened many times in the Old Testament, but it's up to the people to choose to turn away. And so that's why we have to defend this. We cannot continue to fund it. You cannot continue to go to work extremely hard, put all your blood, sweat, and tears into trying to raise a family when these people are robbing you blind. All they do is want to get more and more money from you. No money will ever be enough. And once you pull back the layers, you can see that nothing that they're doing is to better our lives. So once you see that, then you'll understand why it's so important to turn away. You're not alone, and we're all together, but we have to do it if we want our lives to be different than it is. Otherwise, it's going to get worse, and then we are complicit in the destruction of that. So I encourage you to stand out and be different, be the change that you want to see. It's not hard, it's very simple. You just have to course correct, and the world will change around you. God bless you guys.